think. Alright, so Heavy Rotation, probably one of my lesser favorite songs. Yeah. Previously, we said that this was on. We saw that there was a whole lot of rendering was already done. Yeah, you can see right here that the floor is unique and that, oh wow, this is actually all 3D modeled here. And it appears to take a little bit of Won't Be Long's background. Well, obviously it's cut off, so... yeah. And you can see here that there is no background here. The words live is double-sided, but a lot of these textures aren't double-sided. And as you can see here, there are still circles above here that are layered differently from the background. If you take a closer look here, this is actually made of glass, and it seems like there is more of Won't Be Long's background. And the floor seems to go a little bit past the building before it just stops. Take a closer look, and yep, that's a bunch of boxes. Take a closer look here. You see there's a whole bunch of hairstyles. I don't know the significance of these hairstyles, but yeah. And yeah, it looks like the glowing is actually real. Yeah, there's really not much else I can say. The glowing is actually real, I think. Except only at some angles. Yeah, you can see how terrible... okay, it's not terrible. You can see how weird the gold move effect kind of looks. And yeah, normally you're not supposed to see that the texture is actually cut off. This is what you're supposed to see. Not. Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, the live is 2 separate layers, which at this point shouldn't be that surprising unless this is your first part, which... but yeah, we also established that the lyrics, which are sometimes English, sometimes not, as well as these player things with the Wii Remote icons, are all tied to the screen, where the score bubbles aren't. I think they're called score bubbles. They're all 3D models, you can see that clearly. And you can see how the gold move works in the duet. Yeah, all sorts of the same thing. If you want context, if you want to see more duet, you want to see how a solo works in terms of gold moves, go watch part 1 of the choreos. So yeah, this entire... anything else that's interesting? Oh yeah, those glowing part. The times where these do glow, they're actually layered separately. Yeah, taking a look at this text, you can see when it actually just fades out. Yeah, that's definitely interesting, I guess, but something you'll never actually see in-game unless you're specifically doing the same thing I'm doing and breaking the boundaries Shisa style. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And yeah, here's the obligatory clap hands to play part and the obligatory player 64 part. Right here. Oh yeah, and in the previous part we established this is an entire thing that is the pause screen, as well as like the menu screen and the title screen and pretty much every screen that has this. It layers above everything, even though it's established that other things wouldn't do that. Yeah, there's really not much else I can say. Just continue, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah. Next up, we got this song, Why Keep Your Head Down. Alright, yeah, this song's... So, yeah, we can see here... Oh, okay. I have a feeling this is just a 2D texture. Well, let's go explore... Yeah, but it's a 2D texture. Yeah. Ooh, there's like... Alright, so yeah, this is... Wait, alright, so this is interesting. It's actually got 2 layers. The back layer seems to change from a fade out to a slightly more destroyed version of what was seen in the beginning. Yeah, I've never seen... Yeah, I don't know, this actually kind of looks like something sick. But actually, yeah, knowing the secrets, you can... Yeah. Yeah, I think that... I think there's a reason for this being a background layer in the dancer. The dancer seems to be tied to this music video entirety. Take a look at this, man. I'm going to show you what the solo looks like in case you haven't watched part 1. As you can see, the gold move just goes way back there, whereas the gold move effect is just a small portion right here. Ooh, weird thing about this game I never knew. If you join in after a gold move, it gives you a golden X no matter what. I mean, probably no matter what. I did not know that, mainly because I don't usually play multiplayer in Just Dance. Yeah, other than that, there's really not much I can say. Let's find the things we would find. Here we have clap hands to play. Yeah. All the same. And then here we can see that there is a Player 64 graphic here. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but who knows? Maybe this was also in Just Dance 2. We're gonna have to find out. Here we see Player 64 to the 64th power. I don't know what the purpose of this background is yet. Weird. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense actually. The dancer disappears and so does the background, so this is what's left of it. That back layer is what's left of it. That makes perfect sense. Alright? Makes perfect sense to me. Weird. Clap hands to play still appears even after the results. Let's see what Player 64 has to say about this. It remains there. So it doesn't disappear at the end of the song. That's interesting to note. I don't know what the purpose of this is. Like, I don't know. I would probably respond to a comment telling me the purpose of it, but yeah. But yeah, the part 1 and 2 were pre-recorded. I'm just adding the audio afterwards. Parts 1 and 2 were recorded before part 1 was uploaded. And of course the menu part as well. Okay, this is another one of my favorites from this game, but all personal bias aside. Circle being there is odd to me, but oh well, I would probably get the point as an American as well. So you see this, right? You can see that, yeah, this yellow thing actually is the floor. And yeah, you can see that the entire background is full of 2D stuff. And the way the runner right there is just... Ooh, what the heck? Okay. Alright, let's do some exploring and yeah. Oh, so these birds do actually exist in every part of it. Yeah, there's really not much else I can say, but yeah. The fact that this is cut off is strange, but makes sense. But the fact of the matter is, the birds fly way out of bounds, where you would never see them. And also, yeah. Look at all those birds that are just flying around. Here we have the obligatory clap hands to play and the obligatory player 64. If you want to find these yourself, go right ahead, be my guest. I wonder if player 64 is gonna be a meme. Yeah, here's player 64. It's probably not gonna be a meme, but yeah. Yeah, that right there, you see that? You're never gonna see the fact that it is actually cut off at the top. You will never see this. In this perspective, at least. Yeah. The fact that solos do that is weird. I don't know. I'm gonna see if this does the same thing in Just Dance 2. But yeah, there's really not much else I can say other than I'm impressed that they are managing to make these. I'm impressed they managed to do something like this. Also, one thing I didn't mention is how the gold move seems to, in the second part, seems to be double layered. That's what I was looking for. And the gold move seems to be a bunch of lines that are disconnected, which makes sense. I think it's kind of hilarious, even though I'm not really laughing. And you can see right here, the border is a flat texture. There's really not much else I can say. So, the fact that I managed to keep this up for the entire song length though is hilarious. Normally you don't see that. The loading screen is not affected by free movement, so you can't exactly see much of it. I'm not sure that Mickey would have anything interesting to talk about. Other than, it seems to have a lot more Japanese lyrics than what I'm used to, the version I'm used to. Yeah. Oh, it does have something interesting. Alright, the rainbow gets stored in, yeah. I'm not used to this version of the song. Holy moly. Yeah. This is the C. Alright, so the rainbow seems to be on a different layer than the background, and the lines here seem to be differently layered, I guess. The lines seem to be double-sided, but the rainbow doesn't. The rainbow is stored under the stage where nobody would see it. I have no idea what that dolphin just did. Oh. It just jumps here in this type of art. It just teleports and then just jumps. I mean, that's something you're never gonna see, but yeah. Yeah, what the heck happened just then? What just happened? I don't know. At first it just seemed like she was in the middle of a field. Like right here. Now I just see it. Alright, so what about these two dancers? Alright, these dancers seem to be on the same layer. Gosh, this mouse is awkward. They seem to be on the same layer, which is odd. But it also feels like the dancers are very separated. Yeah, there's really not much else I can say. Oh yeah, also the palm trees are on a different layer from the background. They're just on the field at different positions, and the sand areas and the umbrellas are 2D, I guess. There's really not much else I can say about this song. But the fact of the matter is, even when the song is over, the dolphin and the rainbow are still rendered, which, yeah, makes sense. And also the background being a bunch of default looking clouds is, I mean, kind of fitting, I guess, but hilarious. I don't know. Just what I'm thinking. What I'm just telling you the facts. Ooh, this one. There's like 4 original songs left, so we're just gonna finish off the original songs here. And UFO. This one, I have to show you what happens before the song starts. It would be dishonest if I didn't show you this. Here's where that comes from. It would be so dishonest if I didn't show you this. If I didn't show you where this image comes from. This was in the community post, as well as this 3D staircase. These lights are 3D except for the light texture. The entire thing is actually 3D modeled, which is crazy. Holy moly. This has to be one of the more detailed things in this game, despite being simplistic still. But yeah, you can tell that everything is layered above the static, which, yeah, kind of makes sense. You kind of need to see the score bubbles, but at the same time, yeah, it can cause moments like this, where it just looks like the score bubbles are watching you. That soulless stare. Someone click that. It's just a soulless stare. I'm sure some young kid is gonna get nightmares from that, but oh well. I'm sorry if you get nightmares from that. It's whoever gets nightmares from that, I don't really care, actually. And also, I did actually test out this song's rendering beforehand, and also I found out that the circles are actually attached to the dancer themselves. So yeah, any sort of 3D looking thing from the dancer themselves is completely fake. And all of these are actually 3D. Yeah. They're 2D textures, but they are actually rendered on a 3D stage. Everything here is one-sided except for the lights and the yeah. Yeah, that's actually a 2D texture. These little circles the dancer makes are all attached to the dancer. Man, I wish this was DLC in Just Dance 2. This would have actually been cool. And I just lost my place. It's really annoying when I lose my place and what the frick? What the heck happened? Why am I upside down? And how did I get upside down? I have no idea what just happened. Man, I wish the pictograms would actually change color though. I wish the pictograms would change colors to match the dancer, but I understand if they couldn't do that. Even though Crying Blood has a slightly different purple sometimes. In Just Dance Unlimited, they replaced those with the actual gold move. Yeah, that's actually a 2D texture, that circle that looks 3D. It's actually attached to the dancer. Which is how they could get away with such tactics. The entire stage looks huge, making the dancer look smaller. Also, at some point, the TV just disappears for some reason. I don't know. That's something. And it just appears to disappear. Yeah, UFO. Probably one of my favorite. Probably one of my favorite out of bounds thing. It's probably my favorite out of bounds thing so far. Not really a whole lot that could change. Morning Musume. Oh wait, saying that artist name kind of makes me think of Sephiroth's Masamune thing. Or whatever it's called. Alright, let's start the song. Anything of interest? Well, actually, yes, this is actually 3D. At the very least, somewhat 3D. I don't know, it just kind of gives off both 3D and 2D vibe. But yeah, it actually is 3D. That's cool. They didn't fake it or anything. That's... Alright, so you see this thing? This is also a 3D model. It's actually rotating, and this is the background. It kind of gives me Just Dance 3's I Feel Love vibes. Which, I mean, is an odd comparison, but... Oh wow, the background actually also rotates. You never see that in Just... You don't really see that in other Just Dance 2 songs, if I'm being honest. But yeah, this background rotates. Most of it you'll never actually see. Actually, you were probably never gonna see it because you're too busy dancing. You're more likely to be focused on this actual 3D representation of that. You're never gonna focus on this piece here. So you're focusing on the pink part in the background if you're focusing on the background at all. So you'll never notice that it's actually rotating. It's very unlikely you'll be able to notice that it's actually cut off into a square, rectangle, whatever it is. And everything is one-sided except for the lights. Oh yeah, the lights actually are... Yeah, these lights are on a separate layer, I think. Yeah, it looks like they're on a separate layer now. Yeah, these lights are cut off at the top, which you'll probably never see. Now, this is a small area, but in this small area, it just is interesting. Never thought that this would be one of the more interesting out-of-bounds songs in the game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Just Dance 2 chorus are probably not going to be that interesting in comparison. I feel like looking at Just Dance 3 kind of gives you the best of Just Dance 2 backgrounds. Yes. Just because they probably knew how to make the choreos. Oh yeah, those ninja stars are part of the dancers and they cut off after the screen cuts off. And I'm pretty sure they're also 2D. Forgot about those ninja stars, that's... yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. Oh. Yeah, you can see that these squares are actually rendered on a separate layer, which is interesting to say the least. Yeah, so look at these scores of 0. You know what's interesting about this background? It just keeps on rotating. Which is not exactly something you normally see in the actual game. Just look at this. The background is almost completely obscured at the bottom here. The floor is almost completely obscured by this. But you can see really clearly if you look hard enough that this background is still rotating, which I did not actually think they would keep that up for the ending. Well, yeah, it just rotates and yeah, it just rotates continuously in one direction. I guess it's called spinning, but or at least most people would call it spinning, but yeah, it's probably just rotating is the more correct term. But yeah, I did not expect that to be interesting. Yeah, some of these I'm just reacting to for the first time, but I'm also telling you what I'm seeing, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are seeing the same thing. Before we get into the song, can you guess if this background is 2D or 3D? Just take a good look at this, because I'm about to reveal the answer to you. And the answer is, it's multiple textures. It's not a singular texture, it's multiple textures. With some effects actually layered on as well. That's cool. Cool and all, but yeah, this little two-sided texture decided that it wanted to have a paper that goes very far off screen that probably regenerates at some point, but yeah. Oh yeah, that smoke is also 2D. The green screen cuts it off, so yeah. This is 2 textures. That's something you don't see every day. These lights are actually rendered on a slightly different layer, which yeah, it's probably hard to see, but I think they're rendered on different layers, just very close together. That's what I'm seeing, at least, or at least that's the feeling it gives me. It's rendered on multiple layers. That smoke right there is actually not even tied to the dancer, it's tied to the border, which it actually goes past the border a little bit. Goes past the border at the bottom, actually. So it looks like. Yeah, it seems to be tied to the dancer. See that there's a shadow beneath him. And other things you can see, I don't know. You can see that there's clap air hands to play. Here's the, here's a little crazy thing that everyone is now expecting. Player 64. This Michael Jackson reference is cool. Or maybe it was... actually all these dancers and that smoke are rendered on the same layer. Which... it probably sounds crazy. And it probably is crazy, and we can see that this... we can see this cursed view of the judgments. Yeah, these dancers are cool and all, but they're rendered on the same layer. Outlining seems to be rendered on a different layer at the same time, on the same layer at the same time. I don't know. It's really hard to see. Yeah, this is a really cool thing because I would never expect any of this. So yeah, that paper will go on and on until it just goes off the stage and into the never-ending abyss where it will never be seen again until a paper reappears and goes across again, and yeah, you get the point. Yeah, you basically have to position your cursor in a weird way. Shift arm in between the loading screens so that I can trick you into thinking the menu is actually changing. Here is the appearance of the Just Mario song in the Just Dance 2 engine, which Americans are probably not used to because Just Mario appeared in Just Dance 3. However, here you can see what it would look like if it were in Just Dance 2. Minus the Japanese judgments. Look at this. It's actually all a movie. And it's rendered on 2 layers. This entire thing is rendered on 2 layers, and you can see right here, this says Super Mario Bros. It's the Mario Bros. Title screen. In case you've never heard of a video game before. And here you can see Mario dancing to the overworld theme from Super Mario Bros. Like the first song I discovered that solos have such a weird gold move animation. Right here it fades to the flagpole being lowered all the way down with text saying "Thank you for playing" in the font "Press Start to P." With everything being the ending of 1-1 from Super Mario Bros. Yeah, it does the same thing Why Keep Your Head Down does. This is one of the simpler ones to explain. You see the pictograms are positioned weird. But yeah, everything is all done on 1 layer. It's just that there's a separate layer for the results screen. Player 64 is right there. Yeah, everything is just this. But yeah, you can see that this is really simple. There's really not a whole lot you can see here. It's all 2D. And yeah, there's really nothing you can see from behind other than the score bubbles, I guess. I guess I'll show you what the gold moves look like. Yeah, it's not that impactful when you're viewing from this far. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot to say. There's really not a whole lot to say. It just fades out again, which is kind of confusing, but yeah. Yeah. And here you can see it rendering basically the ending right here. And it just disappears when the results screen shows up. Does the fade out twice, even though the second one's probably not necessary. They probably just did it again just to have continuity, I guess. See, Mario gets 800 points, so yeah, there's that type of continuity. Let's move on. So yeah. Yeah. Not really a whole lot going on in the Mario song. Now we have the American songs left, and we're gonna do some comparing and contrasting in part 3 of choreographies. Of course, the comparing and contrasting will be done by you, viewers. But you will be able to tell the differences between these songs, even though I'm pretty sure a lot of these songs are gonna be extremely similar. the most different songs will probably be You Can't Touch This, Wannabe, and Toxic. In terms of 3 most different songs. I'm not really sure this song would be that much different, though. But I'm sure that Toxic would be the most different Just Dance 2 song, and You Can't Touch This and Wannabe would be the most different songs in the entire game from American counterparts, because they both actually sing in Just Dance 1. They're both really simple. They really should have added more Just Dance 1 songs, if I'm gonna be honest, but I mean, the song selection is fine except for Dagomba, so I can't really complain. I know I sound like an FU in particular type of dude right now, cause talking about the American part of the song list. But yeah, this entire game's original choreos from Won't Be Long all the way to Mario. Yeah, it's literally Mario. That's literally all it is in this game. Mario by Nintendo. They probably could have put in an overworld theme at least. Or ground theme. Ground theme from Mario. Ground theme / underground theme from Mario. Or Mario - ground / underground. Mario - overworld / underground. I don't know, I'm probably overcomplicating this entire thing. So yeah. Also, I'm probably just showing off my scores right now, but yeah. All these are first tries, I think. Maybe a couple second tries, I'm not sure. I don't know, I haven't played this game a lot, but honestly, this is probably the most... I never expected this game to have this many interesting out-of-bounds experiences in any game that I've played. So yeah, this game, Just Dance Wii. I'm going to cover the American games soon enough, but for now, this will be the end. Bye! Do you expect some kind of ending?